You got to get through it, Wilds. You can't laugh. You got to do it like a straight man.
No, the laugh brings us all along. Drawing a blank, NFL draft 9 days away, and with the 10th overall pick, what do the Dallas Cowboys do? Stephen Jones said an early run on quarterbacks is actually going to help them out a lot. We know Jerry Jones loves Kyle Pitts. That we know. But, Brandon, the player Dallas should be focused on at 10 is blank.
Kyle Pitts. What? Did y'all see that defense last year? Then it got to be defense. And you got to go with somebody who can actually come in and change the defense right away. And you got to go to Penn State. Micah Parsons. This linebacker, he's big, he's fast, he's physical. He runs sideline to sideline. He's phenomenal in the run game and then also in the pass game. Why is that important? Because right now we're talking about guys like Kyle Pitts. You got to have linebackers that can also cover tight ends, that can cover running backs, and he is that guy. This is a dude that all 32 teams would love to have. He's great in blitz. He's great in the run, like I said. He can do it all, Nick. So this whole notion of thinking about offense is just... You can't even talk about it. Like, what are they talking about? It was the worst defense that we've seen through 7 weeks. Come on, Jerry Jones, get this right and go get Micah Parsons.
So the only reason I don't agree with you on Parsons specifically is the one part of the Cowboys defense that theoretically should be good are those inside linebackers with Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith. So because of that, I think they go to the secondary. And so I said Patrick Surtain Jr., but you and I are on the same page, and I think Stephen Jones is right. Here's the thing, Wilds. 9 picks before the Cowboys. 4 of them we know will be quarterbacks. 1 will be Kyle Pitts. 1 will be an offensive lineman, probably Sewell. And 2 of the wide receivers will go. That's 8. So figure out who your favorite 2 defensive players are. 1 of them, at least, if not both of them, will be available. I would go Pat Surtain Jr. or Pat Surtain II, pardon me. But either way, it's got to be a defensive player. Brandon's absolutely right on that front.
Yep. Okay, or the other option is they could trade back, Nick, and they could trade back to number 15, old Swaparoo with the Patriots. You know who will still be there for the Cowboys?
Okay, yeah.
J.C. Horn. You know who will be there for the Patriots? Brandon, you and me. Let's get our jerseys. Justin Fields to the Patriots.
Oh, my
Cowboys get J.C. Horn. Win-win for everybody.
Stop it. 15. Are you out of your
Justin
mind?
Fields ain't falling to 10. He's not falling to 10. Well, Mel Kiper's the reason Mel Kiper's not on the show. He auditioned. We picked you. Jeez.
Did you just say Mel Kiper?
Got to talk about some Ravens.
Yeah.
We know the Ravens have been looking for some upgrades at wide receiver. Ravens GM Eric DeCosta says he's aware that there is, quote, some fan discontent with the way this team has been drafting and developing wide receivers. So Brandon, DeCosta being, quote, insulted by critics of the Ravens receivers is blank.
Concerning, let's say that. When you look at how many receptions the receiver core brought in, we're talking about 137 receptions last year. That's the fewest in the NFL. 1,700 yards. That's the fewest in the NFL. If it's not concerning, it's revealing when you look at those numbers, because now what you're saying is, I love my receivers, but may not love my quarterback. So what is it, GM? Like, come on now. You got to have more production in the passing game.
That's right.
It starts with Greg Roman. It trickles down to that quarterback right there, Lamar Jackson, who I absolutely love. And those receivers, if you love them, we need to see it.
Brandon, you stumbled on the exact right point here. This is a public negotiation. Because if he's saying my receiving core, which of the receivers who were there last year that are back, it's Marquise Brown, Miles Boykin, and Devin Duvernay. It's not guys they've spent a lot of money on, and only Marquise Brown is the one they've spent a super high draft pick on. I know they brought in Sammy Watkins. What you are de facto saying is our receivers are good enough. So I don't know, what's the other part of the passing game? They are trying to negotiate a long-term contract with Lamar Jackson. That cannot be missed here. This is part of that negotiating process, because I'm sure Lamar's agent is saying, guys, you haven't given him the weapons. And DeCosta's like, that is insulting. We absolutely have given him the weapons. Have you met Devin Duvernay? And Lamar's agent is like, I actually have not. I have not met Devin Duvernay, and that's not the answer.
Nick,
Oh,
Nick,
it's his mom.
Not,
You're
it's
right,
not
it's
his
his mom.
agent, and
My
it's his
bad.
mom, Felicia. Mom Felicia saying, you better give
you're
my
right.
son some weapons. Come on now, protect
Some
my
weapons.
baby too.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
That's right. You're right about that. I
It's
forgot
in
about
the
that.
bag.
You're absolutely right. It's his mom negotiating for him. That's absolutely right.
All right, I went with deleted
ahead,
tweet
Rob.
because I don't know what these critics are criticizing the Ravens wide receivers, but the Ravens wide receivers themselves are upset with their production. It's because they're not getting any target. Remember Hollywood Brown, after the Steelers game, he had 2 targets. He had 1 catch for 3 yards. And his quote was, "What's the point of having soldiers when you never use them?" So, yeah, maybe critics are criticizing the wide receivers, but your own wide receivers are also upset
Wilds in the
with their own
archives.
production.
Love it.
This was
Love
deleted
how you
for
go
the
to the
record. It was
archives.
deleted, but
Head to Atlanta. We've never seen quarterbacks taken with the first 4 picks, but it is possible next week. According to Peter King, Falcons owner Arthur Blank is fascinated by the quarterbacks to top the draft. Hey, Brandon, the Falcons drafting a QB at 4 would be blank.
Premature. I mean, Matty Ice, he turns 36 shortly. I mean, he's still in his damn prime when you look at what Aaron Rodgers is doing and Tom Brady is doing. Obviously, Rodgers turning 38. Tom Brady, 42, 43, whatever. How old is your boy, Nick? Is he 42, Tom
43.
Brady? But
He turns 44 in August.
He turns... Okay, there you go. It's premature. That is not the issue. The issue is on the defensive side. We know that. I do think you double down if Kyle Pitts is there because you have Matt Ryan and then you also have Julio Jones and his injury history. He'll miss a game or 2 and you need someone that can come in and create some amazing matchups, and you got Calvin Ridley. So I do think there's a play there. But I am hearing that if Justin Fields is sitting there, this may be something interesting and intriguing for the Falcons. But any other quarterback, I think they just overlook it and they double down on Matt Ryan, Nick.
Okay, listen. Hey, Peter King, fellow New Yorker. I consider him a professional friend. We have a nice, respectful relationship. I'm insulted, Peter. I told you yesterday it's an impossibility the Falcons draft a quarterback. So the answer is impossible. They told America they're not drafting a quarterback. They redid Matt Ryan's deal. He is 1,000% tied to them for 2021 and 2022. And if you really want to get into the weeds, the cap hit's so big in 2022, they're probably going to redo it again and tie him there for 2023. They're not drafting a quarterback. The people that keep talking about this, it reminds me of when my parents were splitting up. People would ask me, like, what's going on with your parents? I'm like, I think they're going to work it out. And be like, didn't your dad just move out? It's like, yeah, but I'm still holding out hope. Guys, it's over. They're sticking with Matt Ryan. You got to accept it. You got to accept reality here, Falcons fans and media. They're not drafting a quarterback. It's fine. It's 20 years ago. I'm over it now. Good relation with both parents.
No, I
but
still
at
feel
the time,
for you.
I was in
I know,
denial.
every time I get annoyed
Falcons
at you, I
fans
forget.
are in
Yeah, you had a tough
denial.
childhood.
Yeah, child of divorce.
Yeah.
Wild. It's impossible. They are not drafting a quarterback. They're not.
are we talking about the Falcons
Wild
right now, or are we talking about something else, Nick? We're talking about Falcons, or we're talking about... Okay. All right, I just wondered. If we want, we can take a break. It's just sports. It's not a big deal. If we want to talk about other stuff, it's okay.
He's okay.
We can always talk.
He faced it.
We're here for you.
Was that too personal? I apologize.
We went there. We came
All
back.
right, I'm saying
You
that
tugged
if we
at
are,
my heartstrings,
I'm saying
Nick.
trade bait.
That's
All
right.
I'm saying
Wild
trade
got
bait.
it right.
I don't
Trade
think they'll actually trade for or draft a quarterback, but they're letting everybody else. We might. Hey, Bears. I know you sent out a tweet about Andy Dalton, but we might draft a quarterback unless you want to come up and grab him. Unless you want to come up. So I think it's trade bait, Jenna.
I agree with you.
I like it.
Feels like they're all in on Matty
I think that's the
Ice.
best answer.